Hey y'all, Dennis here, Muddy Waters Search and Recovery, and I am going to do kind of an update recap on Rachel Conger's case. I did do a layout on this case a while back ago, but it just had basic information on it. So I'm going to kind of get into some of the details of what was happening, what was going on, etc. Rachel was last seen in Paris, Tennessee on March 13th of 2008. She was riding with her husband in his gray 2000 Ford F-150 pickup truck at the time. The couple were having some marital issues. She had moved out of the house a couple months prior to her disappearance, but they were working on reconciling their marriage, trying to work things out. At 9:33 a.m., an acquaintance called Rachel's cell phone. Her husband answered the phone. This person said that her husband seemed like he was upset, and the caller was unable to speak with Rachel. At 10:20 a.m., a witness saw her husband at their home. He was alone. He drove there. He stayed only a few minutes and then he drove away. Rachel has not been seen or heard from again. Her husband disappeared right after Rachel disappeared. Their loved ones become concerned and they contacted law enforcement, who began searching for both individuals. Law enforcement found the truck near their home on March 15th of 2008. Rachel's cell phone, wallet, and medication were inside the truck. On March 16th, authorities located her husband's body in the woods off of Briar Patch Lake Road, about 500 yards from their home and near where the truck had been found. It was discovered that he had committed suicide. There was no sign of Rachel at the scene. An extensive search of the area did not turn up any signs of Rachel. Rachel left behind a 13-year-old daughter who moved in with her paternal grandmother. She describes Rachel's husband, who's the daughter's stepfather, as being abusive, and she stated that her mother loved her and would never leave her or abandon her like this. Authorities believe that Rachel was the victim of a murder-suicide at the hands of her husband. Her body has not been found. Rachel was 30 years old at the time that she went missing, 5'2", 128 pounds, blonde hair, and green eyes. She was last seen wearing black sweatpants and a burgundy tank top with pink lettering. If you have any information on this case, please contact the Henry County Sheriff's Office, 731-642-1672. That number will be down in the video description, as well as my contact information. This case, and I've got a lot more to go through on this case, and we will be looking for locations of interest that could be searched. The extensive search in the area of where her husband's body was found, to me, definitely is a location of interest. I know an extensive search was done in the area, but a lot of times this type of murder-suicide, the suicide is going to take place in the general vicinity of where the murder took place, or at least where they may have buried or hidden the person that they murdered. A lot of times, not to get graphic on any of this, but a lot of times They don't even hide. They'll be in the house or whatever structure that they're in when it happens. So the fact that there wasn't in a home or wasn't in the vehicle, obviously if something like that would have taken place in the vehicle, law enforcement would have had those answers. Do they have those answers? Honestly, we don't know. It is an active, open investigation, so they're not going to release that kind of information publicly. So, but there would be, at this point, some details of evidence found in the truck. I have not seen any reports on that. So, at this point, it's going to be trying to determine where they went when they were together, what areas they were in, direction of travel they may have been taking, the time frame. At 10:20 a.m. he was seen going into the house. He was alone, stayed a few minutes, and then left again. It's going to be trying to narrow down a time frame from the time that they went somewhere together, what time did they meet up, to what time he was seen at the house, to try to get distance, basically how far from that area they may have been, and then start narrowing down search areas based off of that information. Again, if you have any information on this case, contact law enforcement. The number is in the description if you're not comfortable with that. And unfortunately, some people may know a little something and think it's not enough to contact law enforcement. I still recommend you contact them with any information that you do have. But if for some reason you're not comfortable with that, please reach out to us. Reach out to a family member or another team that may be working on this as well. Reach out to any of us. We can get that information to where it needs to go to hopefully bring answers to this case, hopefully bring Rachel home. If she is deceased, then she could at least be laid to rest proper. So we will continue digging into this. We will update you on any new findings that we get. And we will be working on trying to narrow down some search locations. There's a couple other cases in Tennessee we want to go down and do some searches on. This would be Parker Morris. It would be Caitlin Ledbetter, Summer Wells, and Rachel. So we will be working to narrow down some search areas, find some search areas. And guys, let's do everything we can to help bring Rachel home. Till next time, you guys stay safe.